to make this recipe, go ahead and start with a 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce. I'm using a low sodium soy sauce. Next, I went in with 2 teaspoons of dark soy sauce. This is going to add a nice color, nice dark color to our final sauce. Then I went in with a tablespoon of oyster sauce and 2 tablespoons of mirin, a seasoned cooking wine. If you don't have that, it's all right, you can leave it out. And then here I go with about 2 teaspoons of honey. I was too lazy, you know what I mean, to put it in the cup, then it gets all sticky, you know. So I just squirted in a little bit of honey for some sugar, for some extra sweetness, and then I went in with a heaping tablespoon of sriracha, but as spice. Next, with a heaping teaspoon of ginger paste, and here I go with 3 tablespoons of white sugar. I didn't have brown sugar, but I would have preferred to use that. Next, here I go with 1 cup of water, and I went in with a tablespoon and a half of cornstarch. And then this water is cool water, it's not hot, and I mixed it until all the lumps are combined. So in my saucepan, I went in with the sauce that we had prepared, and once it came to a bubble, I poured in the cornstarch slurry and mixed it until it got nice and thick. That'll take just about 3 to 4 minutes. So here I've got some tofu that I left sitting in this kitchen towel for about a couple hours, just so that all the moisture could come out of the tofu. This is firm tofu that you're going to want to use, and once I've done that, you're going to want to cut it into small cubes, or really whatever size cubes you like. I like cutting them pretty small. I feel like it allows the tofu to stretch a little bit longer with my meal plan, if you know what I'm saying. It's expensive, so you don't want to be like cutting too big. Anyway, so go ahead and cut your tofu into cubes, and you're going to want to let it sit in that tea towel to absorb the water that it was packaged in as long as possible. I ended up doing about 2 hours, but honestly, if you only have like 30 minutes, 15 minutes, that'll work too, just as long as you can to get all that moisture out. Then I went in with about a tablespoon of soy sauce and a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika here. If you like a little bit of extra spice, you can use red chili powder. I like the paprika for a little bit of smokiness, a little bit of color, you know what I'm saying? So as soon as that was done, I didn't let it marinate for very long. I just went straight to the pan and got a pan heated to medium-high heat, and I added in a tablespoon of vegetable oil. You're not going to want to use something like olive oil because that has a low smoke point, so it will burn very quickly. So go ahead and lay all your tofu into an even layer in your pan. It's okay if you have to do it in batches. My skillet just happened to be big enough to accommodate all the tofu, and you're going to want to let it fry for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, and you're just going to turn it every 2 to 3 minutes, even the sides, to make sure that everyone in that pan gets nice and golden brown and crisp, because that's where the true flavor is. Once that was done, I sprinkled it with a little bit of salt, and I set it aside and moved on to the veggies. So I got a couple cute carrots, that I peeled and cut at a diagonal. And here I've got some nice tender Nappa cabbage that I am going ahead and slicing. It's okay, it does not have to be perfect, it's gonna wilt away in the pan anyway. I really like Nappa cabbage. It's nice and sweet, but it's a little bit more tender than standard cabbage. But if that's what you've got, use that as well. This is such a versatile stir fry. You can add in whatever type of veggies you have. I love to add in bell pepper, mushrooms, zucchini when I have it. This is what I had on hand, and it ended up delicious. So here I go, just slicing the head of the broccoli, and I also did use the stem. The stem is edible, all right, guys? Don't waste the stem. So you'll see I put it into the final product, and then I sliced a half of an onion, And we go to sauteing the veg. So in the same pan that I did the tofu, I went back in with another tablespoon of vegetable oil, and once it was ripping hot, nice and hot, I put in the carrots. Now this part goes very, very quickly with the veggies. I don't leave the veggies in the pan for more than really 30 to 45 seconds because I like the vegetables to stay nice and crispy when I don't like them to be too mushy when I serve them. I like them to maintain their nice crispiness. So here I go with the broccoli stems and the onions and the carrots. And I like to cook it in the order that it would get soft. So the carrots take a little longer and the onions, so I put those first. So then I went in with a little teaspoon of garlic paste. Do that, give it some good flavor. Spread everything to the side, added another tablespoon of oil, and then I went in with the broccoli, and then followed by the Nappa cabbage about another 30 seconds later. As you can see, the broccoli got a little bit more green, had some time to cook, but it is still a little bit crispy, still fresh. It is not mushy at all, and that's what we're looking for. And guess what? We're done. All we gotta do now is assemble. Of course, at this point, you're gonna wanna taste for salt. To season my veggies, I added in just a splash of soy sauce, and that was all I needed. So with the tofu, I went ahead and added it back to the pan and topped it with the glaze that we had made, and that's it. So I have some jasmine rice here that I prepared, some fresh jasmine rice, went in with the veggies with that juicy caramelized, a little bit crispy tofu, you know what I'm saying, teriyaki tofu, yes. And then finish it off with your sauce and you are ready to enjoy. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, give it a like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.